Logical extrapolation. Failed. Success rate indeterminable. This peculiar proposal nearly brought my thought process to a halt. This request is far too lacking in structure. Yet within an irrational context, it seems to conceal a certain kind of logic. If the universe is the master of Elation's playground, then they should do something about this playground that's about to be destroyed. As expected of the Trailblazer, your thinking is so out of the box. I've learned something today. However, I don't think you stand much of a chance in the games, because I've joined as a supplicant. Not a single rule in the Phantasmoon games requires supplicants to engage in combat, so there's no need for hostility between us.
A Planarcadia's administrator is a supplicant?
At the same time, she has at her disposal assets of staggering magnitude. What, Perlux Corp among them.
Aww, with money and power on her side, wouldn't her chances of success be way higher than ours?
As I previously proposed to Miss Himiko, I'm willing to cooperate with the Astral Express to ensure the smooth progression of the Phantasmoon games.
But the Astral Express isn't your only partner, is it?
I have 2 other allies. However, you all are my most promising ones. Once the Astral Express joins, it will maximize the safety and success of this Ionic game, and I will do everything in my power to fulfill my partner's wishes within that limited minute.
As we told you before, our strategy is to become a sail, advance and retreat together. The Astral Express is not a lone supplicant, since we have our own allies in the games.
An ally like Sparksy? It's true that you defeated her and took her mask, but given her typical decision-making style, Sparksy isn't exactly what you'd call a reliable ally. Hypothesis. The Sinwish Syndicate's missing mask. I thought it fell into the Cienjo's hands. Don't tell me. Yao Guang gave it to you guys?
That's right. 3 against 3. We're tied at the moment.
With this new variable in play, I'll have to adjust my extrapolations. But the conclusion seems unchanged. After all, as the administrator of this world, I have the natural advantage in resources.
An IPC senior executive, Planarcadia's administrator, a member of the 10 Stonehearts, joining the games personally. It certainly has an intimidating ring to it. But when you think about it, isn't this identity precisely the greatest burden Madame Pearl has to overcome?
He is right. Your identity is far too sensitive. You want to control these games and end it safely and quickly. But Planarcadia's citizens might not see it this way. All they see is the all-powerful IPC and an influential executive pulling all the strings. Your every action will be scrutinized twice over.
A sharp observation, I must say. Quite impressive.
But I do not believe you yourself would overlook this. Madame Pearl, what is it that you seek to obtain from the Phantasmoon games at any cost?
What I seek is a treasure lost to this world's history. I want to recreate Graphia's divine art of imagenesis.
Does that have something to do with painting?
Hard to believe, no? My birth originated from the theme assigned by the celestial differentiator of planet Scrulum. Art. At first, I was nothing more than a machine that imitated human paintings. For an Intellitron, generating works of art is no great challenge. Day after day, I studied. Day after day, I exhausted every possibility. I could instantly analyze the proportional structure and pigment composition of any painting. I could precisely reproduce every pixel of Graphia's masterpieces. Yet I could not create as she did. Graphia's ultimate creation was establishing the world in canvas at the end of the Phantom Moon Games. I want to understand her thoughts at that moment and touch the essence of creation.
Is this your personal pursuit? Or the IPC's demands on this world?
Both. The IPC's point of view is far more pragmatic. The world in canvas is a dimension that can shield us from the Antimatter Legion's warfare, and they've always been eager to master this technology.
Unfortunately, it seems we can't convince each other to back out for now.
Then, I have another proposal. Why don't we shift our perspective and turn our attention to those two supplicants who haven't surfaced yet? These two individuals' objectives are unclear, and their abilities remain a mystery. If left unchecked, we might see a repeat of the Herald of Death tragedy. I have a cooperation proposal that could help us gather intelligence on them, and I'm willing to share this piece of information with you all. A tiny sliver of your reputation before we move on to the details of our cooperation. Would you like to take a short break and have some tea to wet your whistles? Or shall we continue? I was thinking of having Perlux Corp host an expo for the Astral Express. As for the name, how about Star Rail Fest?
Star Rail Fest? You mean hosting a Fluffy Across the Blue convention?
Correct, but not entirely. The Fluffy is well known in this world, so it's a good collaboration element. But what I want is an unprecedented Astral Express exhibition, with the Fluffy being just a small part of it. The real stars of this grand event will be you, the Express crew. You'll be there in person to meet the people of this world.
Are you trying to use this exhibition to lure those two unidentified supplicants out of hiding?
Huh? What if they're up to no good? Won't that just make us walking targets?
There are many ways to take the lead afterward. I'm less concerned about the progress than about the unknown risks our plan might face. Together, we can create a miracle for all to witness in Arcadia devoted to the legends of heroes. I'll also get Full Wish TV and other mainstream media outlets involved for promotional cooperation. And in return, Wish power will flow to you. Of this, I have no doubt. A wise choice. Before the Star Rail Fest officially begins, I have one more favor to ask of you all. I'd like the Express crew to pay a visit to Blurry QR Colt, the original author of Fluffy Across the Blue.
Doesn't Perlux own the rights to the Fluffy?
Since their debut, this author has remained anonymous, never revealing their true identity in public. But if the real-life inspiration behind the story were to pay them a personal visit, it would surely be a great honor, and likely persuade them to attend a signing, stoking the excitement even further. Now that we've reached an agreement, I'll leave it in your capable hands. My secretary will be in touch to keep all parties apprised. By the way, before you leave, please accept this small gift as a memento of our first collaboration. I've studied in detail the records of my colleagues' interactions with partners in Penacony, and I was particularly inspired by Aventurine's technique of giving small gifts that symbolize good fortune. So please, keep this chip with you as a symbol of good fortune for our future cooperation.
Well, we'll be on our way then.
As your private detective, I must warn you that a grand exhibition of unprecedented scale would make for a perfect opportunity to reenact the blood-stained games.
I understand. That's why I have a mission for you. Protect the Nameless at Star Rail Fest.
You actually think they would need my protection with their strength? Don't tell me your extrapolations predict even bigger trouble ahead.
Hidden beneath each extrapolation, tiny signals of unease keep bubbling up to my thought interface. I must be thoroughly prepared for whatever may come. Now that you've taken up the mask, let's talk about payment. What do you want? The same as always?
Before we talk about payment, let's discuss the Herald of Death. Although the Department of Aberration Defense sealed and destroyed all records of the bloodstained games, I still managed to uncover some unusual leads. After the Herald of Death incident, the victims' families collectively received compensation so massive it could fill any gaping wound. So, I figured maybe we could find some leads by looking into official Planarcadia expenditures. But here's the interesting part. This item was nowhere to be found in that year's public financial report. Care to guess whose books this money went through? It was you, the omnipresent IPC. To be precise, it was the IPC's technology department that paid this astronomical compensation.
Following the usual human drama tropes, am I supposed to give you a round of applause now? Being able to dig up all this information really shows your connections and capabilities, Detective Ashvale.
In movies, a big shot like you would usually raise a hand right about now, revealing the dark muzzle of a gun. I'm afraid you've learned too much. And bang! That's when the gun goes off. And I, the poor sap who uncovered the truth, am supposed to bite the dust.
Sorry, my hand is on the checkbook and unavailable. Mr. Ashvale, tell me, how many zeros would you like to see on that check for our cooperation?
It's not about the money.
Indeed, money isn't the issue. 100 million credits.
Are you trying to buy me off like some poor victim's family? Tell me, why did the technology department pay to sweep this under the rug?
300 million? I know you've always needed money. For cryosleep, supporting the families of fallen comrades, and for treating those who survived. Isn't this exactly what strategic investment is about? Putting money in the hands of those who need it?
I'm not your lackey, Intellitron. Tell me the answer.
500 million? I could pretend there's a glitch in my calculation process and make it a cool billion for you. Money or answer? Your call.
I want the answer.
Oh, an unexpected choice. It defies my usual understanding of your decision tree. Note, I say this without sarcasm or ridicule. The answer is, I don't know much. Hard to believe, perhaps. But as CEO, my power isn't unlimited. The Herald of Death affair lies 15 years in the past. This world is like an unfinished game of chess that's been dragging on for years. The hidden moves laid by the previous player keep becoming my challenges. Even today.
But since you've invited me to finish this game together, sharing intel is a must.
Reasonable. I'll share what I know about the answer. Marcus Antali, the Herald of Death. Last member of the Intelligentsia Guild School of Evolutionary Perfection. 5 years ago, his identity was confirmed, and he was executed. Note, executed in every sense of the word. Miss Yabali, head of the technology department, took possession of his belongings. And even I don't have the clearance to access those records.
No wonder. So, that guy was practically IPC personnel, give or take. That also explains why the technology department shelled out the compensation. Yet, the method behind this latest killing is identical to the one from years ago. If the Herald...
A serial killer coming back from the dead is the least of our worries. Even if a serial killer does come back to life, he's still just a serial killer who's been shut out of the Ionic game. What's more concerning is this. Someone wants to exploit the legacy of the Herald of Death. Miss Yobeli took away everything that man left behind, except for the fear he instilled in the people of this world. And during the Phantasmoon Games, not only can miracles trigger wish power, but fear too. Based on my extrapolations, the appearance of this new Herald of Death might mark the beginning of the festival spiraling out of control.
No wonder you're in such a hurry to end the games.
Mr. Ashvale, I've always respected you. But right now, I need to rely on your strength even more.
Respect. When I was younger, what I really wanted was to make the IPC fear me. The passage at time's not exactly kind, is it? Deal, Madam Pearl. But I will require one more form of compensation. Whoever this new Herald of Death is, I must deliver justice with my own hands.
By the authority vested in me as CEO of Planarcadia, I pardon all crimes committed in the course of your revenge. Go ahead and do what you must, Mr. Ashvale.
My friend, I don't blame you, but I'm done being a breathing dead weight. So do me a favor and pay me back for that drink with this bullet.
Just do it, you coward! Let me die as a Galaxy Ranger before I turn into a monster of abundance!
Shoot me. I beg you.
My Skybo above, may you have a pleasant dream.
Not knowing who you are, not knowing why you exist here, that isn't life. In ancient times, humanity's daily goal was to obtain 2,000 calories of food. Humans back then knew they were just one member of the animal kingdom. They understood why they migrated, hunted, gathered. But now, in an era where you can get food delivered to your door with just a tap of your finger, effortlessly achieving that 2,000 calorie goal, humanity has lost its way like never before. Tell me, will the Phantasmoon Games bring a new direction to this world, Ashvale?
What's wrong with getting food with just the tap of your finger? Well, don't tell me you want to go back to the days when everyone was starving and at the mercy of the harvest. 2,000 calories are pointless, but just for survival. It's the goals beyond 2,000 calories that define humanity. And the Phantasmoon Games holds up a mirror to humanity, allowing them to see their truest selves. I'm just a detective. Ask me such a profound question again next time, and I'll charge extra.
My apologies. I just heard you joined the Phantasmoon Games and couldn't resist asking for your thoughts. You've met Madame Pearl, huh?
She dumped this hot potato of the Herald of Death on me.
On us. Judging by your expression, it seems less like a hot potato and more like a sweet fruit.
Because I have a lead now. I think the key lies in the word copycat. To prevent copycats, you kept the Herald of Death's modus operandi from 15 years ago under wraps. Which means...
There's only a few people who could reproduce this killing method with such precision. The investigators from the Security Bureau and the Department of Aberration Defense at the time, and those directly involved in the Herald of Death case.
Detective Kuchiba, I've heard that you've devoted considerable time to researching the crimes from the Phantasmoon games.
So, I'm the prime suspect now. Is that it?
Just a bit of minor deduction. After all, murderers always love to return to the scene of the crime. Isn't it coincidental that you happen to be standing right before my eyes?
That's not deduction. It's a conjecture at best. As for investigating those two categories of suspects, we've been doing that for a long time already. It's been 15 years. The relevant people and the victims' families have all gone their separate ways. Tracking them down now won't be easy.
Yeah. After losing their loved ones in such a cruel way, their hearts were shattered. Many couldn't bear to stay in Dovebrook District and chose to move away. I remember seeing that in the case files you sent me. They even formed a mutual aid society for the victims.
I wonder, after all these years, have they managed to heal the wounds in their hearts?
Maybe they have. After all, they go by a new name now. The Research Society of Happy Smiles.
Ah, you mean that charity with the slogan, Healing Smiles, Healing Arcadias?
Before he died, Kostide mentioned that group to me. He said quite a few young people in the gang left without looking back, just to join them. So I thought, maybe we should start by looking into their rivals.
The Research Society of Happy Smiles, huh? A charity that helps people escape their pain and find happiness, offering free counseling, medical care, all of that good stuff. Sounds like they've turned over a new leaf. How could you call them rivals to the underworld?
I dug a little deeper into them and found something interesting.
You mean your monkey dug up something interesting, right?
Okay. Mr. N dug up something interesting. Have you heard the name of the sponsor behind the Research Society? Her name's Full Wish.
That name rings a bell. Wait, isn't she the boss of Full Wish TV? I think she was one of the survivors of Graphia Academy too. This is getting a little too coincidental. Just like every case you've accidentally cracked before. Mr. Ashvale, should I compliment your keen instincts or your incredible luck?
Luck's a part of a detective's toolkit, too. Anyway, whether Full Wish is guilty or not, we won't know until we look into her. That's why I asked you here.
Dovebrook District New Life Project. Public Recruitment and Mental Healing Seminar at the Research Society of Happy Smiles. And she's the speaker? Holding a seminar at a place meant to bury past trauma. The very site of 2 bloody incidents. Miss Fullwish's audacity is certainly impossible to ignore.
So what are we waiting for? It's time to drag Dovebrook District's old skeletons out into the light.
Are you talking? Yeah, I'm almost there.
I want more happiness. Feeling lucky. Feeling lucky. Locked and loaded.
Try to trick me.
This place is buzzing. Are they all here waiting for Full Wish to grant their wishes?
A rich person like Full Wish can make most people's wildest dreams come true with the snap of her fingers. I'm less curious about who she'll help than what she wants for herself.
If money could really accomplish everything, the IPC wouldn't be eyeing this world. My bet? I'm sure that Full Wish wishes the tragedy 15 years ago never happened. Erasing history. Can the laughter really pull it off?
In past victory records, there have been countless and often bizarre instances where the victor used the elation's authority to change reality. You have to understand, the Phantasmoon Games isn't just some wish-granting lamp. What makes it irresistible is that it turns the one who wishes into the genie.
That's quite alluring. Have you heard about the noblest worm Aha made godlike? It became the happiest creature in existence. Happy enough to burst apart, leaving no intact body behind.
Your knowledge of these unofficial records is enough to rival ours. Since you see things so clearly, Mr. Ashvale, why sign up for the games?
Miss Kuchiba, is that a rhetorical question? Or are you fishing for a confession?
Fishing. Don't be afraid. Now that you're a supplicant, public officials like me no longer have any authority over you. I'm guessing what you want goes beyond a straightforward act of revenge, beyond a vigilante execution carried out in public. If you were only out to avenge friends, with or without the Phantasmoon Games, someone like you would toss laws and decorum aside and do what needs to be done. So tell me, Mr. Ashvale, what do you actually hope to get from the games?
Consider it a mystery. If I make it to the end, you'll know the answer before Aha does.
Well then, I'd be honored. Just don't let your wish ruin our lives here.
Daily life here fits like a tailored prison uniform. Wear it too long and you forget what your bones should feel like. Ugh. It's time to break free. Look at these prisoners of routine before us. Full Wish hasn't shown up yet. Let's talk with the members of the Research Society. Maybe we can coax something useful out of them.
I got called into another chat with the boss today. Never thought he'd care about me this much. Everyone is smiling at me. The office feels downright cheerful. These days, I go home, change my baby boy's diaper, help my daughter with her homework, prepare tomorrow's lunch, and clean up the house. It's hard to describe how satisfying that feels. When Emma left me, she must have left the kids to me for my own happiness. When I look back, I realize I was someone who had it good. I never understood how lucky I was.
Right? All thanks to Miss Foolish. Yesterday, during my tumor removal, the anesthesia wore off halfway through. I squinted and watched the doctors pull all kinds of things out of my stomach. There was this lump still twitching when they cut it out. I used to be too weak to even get out of bed. But after the Society's treatment, I am almost ready to walk out of the hospital.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, I kind of want to see someone slice me open too. It should be fun.
Hey, did you two hear about the Sinwish Syndicate?
You You've come to the right person. My neighbor got a visit from their debt collectors. You should have heard the racket. I saw the news too. Those parasites who ruined the peace, who kept people from being happy. Gone. Wiped clean. Oh, praise aha. Wait, they extorted you too?
Something like that. Still owed their underboss tens of thousands of credits.
So your debt's wiped clean. Oh, must feel pretty great, huh?
Oh, we meet again. Hey, Lady Megatron. How have you been?
Good. Since I joined the Research Society, I've made so many new friends. In the past, I struggled with mobility. I always had to work 3 or 4 times harder than the other Megatrons, just to keep up. A lot of Imagine think factory-made types like me don't count as their own. And humans look at us and see soulless machines. If every sentient being has a home, then even the scrapyard is close to me. I'm not even here in the society. No one cares what I am or what I can do. They just see me as a normal person.
Congrats. You found your home.
Aha said the same. They and everyone here are my family.
Aha talks to you.
Of course. You mean you can't hear them? Guess you're not happy enough yet.
Don't worry. Once you join the society, you will. No pain, no tears, just pure joy.
Looks like it's about time. If the star of the show doesn't show up soon, the crowd's gonna burst with anticipation.
Everyone, please make some room for Miss Foolish.
By the Master of Elation, may they bless all souls and grant them smiles. Are you all happy today?
Very happy!
Thank you for your smiles. They're like lamps in the dark. So precious. But before we celebrate the elation, let me share a memory drenched in tears. It once dragged me into the abyss. Yet, it also taught me what the elation really means. As you all know, 15 years ago, during the Phantasmoon Games, the shadow cast by the Herald of Death swallowed this place whole. That day, I lost my parents, my classmates, and the others. The morning greetings, the little daily chatter, all went silent under that crimson dusk. After that, for a very, very long time, all that remained of my world, a door shut tight, a room steeped in silence, and a wound in my heart that would never, just hearing the words, Herald of Death, made me shake uncontrollably. I even once thought the only escape was to follow the dead and leave with them. Back then, I was just an empty shell, breathing, beating, but lifeless inside. And just as my soul was about to fade away, she didn't offer empty words of comfort. She just looked me in the eyes and asked, "Child, would you try stepping outside this door? Out there are many people broken by pain just like you. But together, we can start picking up the pieces, one by one. She smiled at me. A warm, gentle smile. At the Mutual Aid Society, I saw countless souls scarred by fate. Some bore wounds beyond healing, and some had lost their loved ones. And yet, what truly moved me wasn't the pain. It was how, beneath those scars, they still reached out to one another. They taught me something precious. Pain can destroy a person, but the wish to bring elation to others, the smiles passed from one another through mutual aid, is Aha's most precious blessing. It does not belong only in the small room of a support group. It yearns to illuminate hearts lost in dark each time we share a true smile. It's as if we hear Aha's voice. That's why the Research Society of Happy Smiles was founded. I will share this divine smile with all of you.
No more sorrow!
Everyone, Minato, do you ever feel like your days are looping endlessly? Like an old silent film, repeating until it suffocates you. Miss Bell Woods, you left school full of dreams. And Taija did the cold exclusion at school and the indifference of the adults who should have cared build a wall around your heart. When we were born, no one had to teach us how to smile. But who would have thought that one day, even smiling would become so hard? Once, our world was blessed by Aha's grace. A gentle world in canvas, painted in elation, until the Inter-Astral Peace Corporation violently tore us away from that sanctuary. They flooded us with dazzling material desires, blinding our hearts. They fed arrogance and prejudice into our minds through the wish power has turned into fuel. Credits jingle where heartfelt laughter used to ring. We drown in anxiety, competition, and an endless sense of not being enough. Elation, the truest light of life itself, is being eaten away and replaced by the external.
You said it. I work myself to death for scraps. And those useless loudmouths online.
Look around you. This land was once blessed by the master of elation. Do you remember the moment I found happiness again? Even through their pain, they gave me that smile. So listen well. Only by opening your heart and sharing your smile with another can you truly grasp what happiness means. Join the Research Society of Happy Smile. Our mission doesn't end with finding our own smiles, while others pray to the eons for their...
To fulfill Aha's wish?
Yes. To still every cry of sorrow. To wipe away every bitter tear. We will build... No, rebuild. A world where smiles never fade, and elation never dies.
It is eternal!
The speech is over. What's your take, Detective?
She's so far gone, it's hard to make sense of it.
Then let's not overthink it. Let's talk to her directly.